Hello everyone! Today is Monday, May 11th, 2020. Yesterday we celebrated a very special person, right? Yes, we celebrated our moms. So I hope you had a very beautiful day, my beautiful students. Well, today we are going to be reviewing social studies. The topic is Central America and the Caribbean. I don't know if you noticed, but we were missing this topic of Contract 5. So please take out Contract 5 and open it on page 36 because we need to finish answering these questions, okay? So let's start. A, answer with up to 4 words, okay? And here we have some sentences. Became the first producer of sugar cane in 1791. It was Haiti, right? The second one, he led a revolution for independence in Haiti. This name is French, so the pronunciation is a little bit confusing, but it was Toussaint Louverture. Okay. The next one, governments that represented the Spanish king and queen. They were the viceroys. Number 4, these were controlled by the viceroys, the land's resources. Next one, these are small parts of a larger nation, the provinces. Next, became independent from the Mexican control after Haiti. It was Central America. Place still under British territory. The Bermuda. Next, place still part of Netherlands. Aruba. These are places where ships can land. Harbors. Next, he overthrew Cuba's dictator. It was Fidel Castro. This is Fidel Castro. Resource mined in Cuba and Puerto Rico. Gold. So these are the answers, children. Please check them. Haiti, Toussaint Louverture, viceroys, lands resources, provinces, Central America, Bermuda, Aruba, harbors, Fidel Castro, and gold. Next, letter B. Complete the timeline about the independence for Central America and the Caribbean. If you check on pages 156 and 157, you will find this timeline, children. You just have to complete the information that was missing on the contract, okay? So between the 1820s and 40s, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic declared independence. In 1902, it was Cuba. In 1903, it was Panama. During the 1960s, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and Barbados declared independence. And finally, between 1970s and the 1980s, Grenada, Dominica, Bahamas, Saint Lucia, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, Antigua and Barbuda, Belize, Saint Kitts and Nevis were the ones who declared independence. Okay, so please check your timeline and complete it. After that, please go to page 37 and let's start answering the questions. Number 1, How might the Spanish desire to control resources help bring out fights for independence? Forced labor and other harsh practices used by European settlers steered thoughts of independence. Number 2. What fact about Toussaint Louverture might explain his commitment to gaining independence for slaves in Haiti? That he was a former slave and he began the movement of independence. Number 3. Between which years was there the biggest gap in Central American Caribbean countries declaring independence? Between the 1970s and the 1980s. Number 4. How did differences in government of Cuba and Puerto Rico affect economic opportunities of the two countries? In Cuba, the government controlled all economic activity. And in Puerto Rico, it benefits from a free enterprise economy. Number 5. Why would the U.S. wanted control over Cuba and Puerto Rico after the Spanish-American War? Because many governors wanted to control much of the country's economy. And the last one, number 6. Which events show Cuba and Puerto Rico's connection to the U.S.? That Cuba and Puerto Rico were Spanish colonies and Puerto Rico became a commonwealth. Now please go to page number 38 on your contract. The instructions are: D. Complete the timeline about Cuba and Puerto Rico. And here we have this chart that is working as a timeline. And we have the two different countries, right? Cuba and Puerto Rico. Now, what was happening during 1898 in both countries? In Cuba, the Treaty of Paris grants Cuban independence. U.S. continues to occupy. And in Puerto Rico, the Treaty of Paris grants control of Puerto Rico from Spain to U.S. In 1901, in Cuba, U.S. sets up a naval base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. You already have this fact that in 1917, Puerto Ricans are made U.S. citizens. In 1925, the Communist Party was formed. And in Puerto Rico, during the 1920s, the Nationalist Party in Puerto Rico argues for independence from the United States. 1959, Castro seized power. Cuba became a communist country. In 1952, Puerto Rico became U.S. Commonwealth. And finally, in 2000, Puerto Rico elected its first woman governor, Sila Calderón. This was a huge event. Can you imagine a woman winning as a governor of a country? This was big, okay? So these were the answers of the exercises on the contract. Please check all your answers, children. You are going to need this for studying, okay? And now please listen to the instruction. You are going to write in the comments an answer from the first exercise, this one. Okay? Number 1, list number 1, you're going to write this. Number 2, this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. You just have to write the word that is in red color, okay? Thank you very much for following my instructions. Now, please continue watching the video of verbs. On that video, you have to answer another question. You have to type in a comment. So today you have 2 grades, the one of social studies and the one of verbs. Thank you very much.